You're listening to 15 Minutes With, brought to you by QWise, managing complexity in the business world.
Now we're only 2 months out from the next TM1 World Championship, which is going to happen in London. Thought it would be an excellent opportunity to get Ben Heinl, the man behind the TM1 World Championship and all the fun stuff.
Really? I don't know if I don't think I kind of see you that way, man.
Thank you. I'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, a couple of months out.
Yeah, a couple of months out. And now is a good opportunity to actually think about and revise. Why did we do TM1 World Championship? What is it about? And I think Ben's in a great position to talk about that.
Yeah, I think that's a question. Why do a TM1 World Championship? You know, and I guess when asked this question, I mean, the original reason was like, hey, that sounds like it would be pretty fun. Like, why don't we do it? And, you know, like people said, there's like an XL World Championship. Surely you could do a TM1 World Championship. But like, yeah, okay. And then at some point we're like, yeah, why not? Let's just do it. Like, and do it at our conference. Like, and then we somehow pulled it off in October. And it was a big, I guess I can call it a success. A lot of people had fun. And, we actually crowned the first ever TM1 World Champion, Dwight. And so, but like, to what end? You know, this is like, are we? And I guess some of the communication that we put out there, and probably will continue to put out there in the future, sometimes is it's light natured. It's like not taking itself too seriously, and that's by design. You know, we don't want to take this thing too seriously. However, I think sometimes it gets a bit silly and people think that maybe the competition isn't something real, or whatever. Right. So I guess one thing is just say is that the competition is real, right? Like it's a legit competition. You have to be good at TM1. You have to be able to do it under pressure on stage. And so, yeah, there is something to it. But is there any value beyond like just doing something as to promote the conference or whatever? I think there's a bigger purpose. Like the success of this thing has really made us start thinking about how competition can help us in sort of the mission of doing good TM1. We talk about do good TM1, and by being able to see people who are excellent at doing TM1 and seeing how they do TM1, we're hoping that maybe it'll also inspire other people to do good TM1, right? So some people are naturally very competitive, right? So for
sure, yes.
And a lot of people, especially end customers, so the competition is aimed at just end customers. They don't get a chance to see a lot of what other people do to understand what good looks like, right? So maybe through the process of competitions, and maybe there'll be better ways to expand this out over time if people really like it. We'll be able to inspire a lot more good TM1 by people seeing other people do good TM1, right? Also, I think it's worth saying we want to put on a pedestal good TM1 developers and champions around the world who work at end customers, like Dwight, who won, or Anne-Marie, who was the runner-up. They're great TM1 champions that deserve a little bit of credit, in the for their skills out in the marketplace, I think. Right.
So it's also a little bit like a celebration for the people who's in the TM1 community, right? Besides us who spend a lot of time.
Sure, there's value in that.
Yeah.
Just celebrate good TM1 in a way, right? In a, basically just a brutal competition. But, no, it's not brutal, actually. I don't want to scare people off because it's all, the atmosphere in the room is very fun and supportive, right? So everyone should not be scared to participate. Everyone should get involved and, give it a go in London.
That's true. And everyone were positive in the last competition, pretty much. Except maybe Anne-Marie, who thought I spoke too much during the commentary.
She thought you were talking too much. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so, I mean, for those you didn't know, like John was actually one of the commentators. He was kind of emceeing the event. And yeah, I guess one of the challenges of the event is you're doing TM1 and you have commentary of you doing TM1 that you hear in your ears, and that's not only the crowd hearing it, but also you're hearing it. So it's like normally you don't get that like in a competition, or not normally you don't get that when you're doing TM1 day to day at work or whatever, right? So there is that's what she didn't like, right?
Yeah, there's an element to the competition and the nature of it's like a game, right? but a
Yeah.
championship game.
Yeah.
With real skills, but it is it's a game, so that's the fun part, and it's a bit different. So I think everyone can have a go.
And there are some rumors of Dwight's life kind of changing since he became the TM1 World Champion. It's like he is getting some like recognition now, and he's flying around the world. He's going to London to compete, and he's a bit of a celebrity now. So
Yeah.
so anyway.
When you become the championship, when you become the TM1 champion, life changes. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah. So what about the future? Is it worth mentioning about maybe the future plan for TM1 World Championship if everyone likes it?
Well, I mean,
is it too early
I'm
for
open
that?
for ideas, but we've been like brainstorming ideas of how to create more competitive environments where people can compete in TM1 as a way of supporting people learning and getting better at it. Right? It's sort of a fun way to learn. There's a lot of different ways, like apps and online, educational platforms, or like things like Duolingo or whatever. I don't know if people try to learn language through that or whatever. But there's also like ways where you can like challenge people to competitions and to try to earn your way through rankings and stuff. And we thought about trying to do something like that. Maybe it'd be fun to offer that to the TM1 world and the TM1 community as a way of learning, and also, maybe getting some credit for how good you are at TM1.
Yeah. Are we thinking about dual TM1?
Duo TM1? Yeah, we might need to check the copyright on that one,
Okay.
man. But
Right.
yeah. You never know, man. Like we're definitely up for some innovation, or try to figure it out. So
Yeah. Okay. So now, is there any last messages for the people who might be interested to join the future TM1 Championship? Like, where's the bar to think about joining the TM1 World Championship? Do they have to have 10 years of experience, or is it open to anybody?
yeah, well, it's open to anybody. Like everyone who shows up at the conference in London, for example, just like it was here in Sydney, is eligible, right? So if you're there and you work at an end user customer, so Cubewisers, they're not eligible. It's like you have to work at end user customer. But if you're there, you should give it a go. The first 2 rounds are trivia, so you never know. Like you might know more than you think. And if you win the trivia, it's only the last few people that make it on stage to then compete by actually doing TM1 on stage. And but that's also just good fun. Like, I mean, if you get to that point, it's just like, why not give it a go? I mean, like, everlasting glory could be yours, right?
Yes.
And everyone there is actually, I mean, is very supportive, right? Like the whole thing is like, everyone realizes how nerve-wracking it is. It is kind of an unusual situation to sit there and try to do TM1. Even brilliant, Anne-Marie and Dwight, for example, like, they were kind of choking on what was normally they would do without even thinking. There were things that just became hard because you're doing it in this atmosphere. But it's all in good fun, like that's the thing. And so I encourage everyone to participate, because you never know how far you'll get. And if you participate, you also automatically get into the world rankings that we started, right? So
You heard it
because
here
we
first.
actually have a way of then measuring it. So there you go.
Well, there you go. And so the next one's in London. Is there any other plans for the future versions or iterations of the World Championship after London?
If London works, we'll keep doing it, but there's no guarantees about where it'll be or even the format. We might tweak the format over time. I don't know. People wanted like a Davis Cup format, or like a Ryder Cup format, or so who knows what we'll do. Maybe teams of people will get together and participate from
team
different companies.
championship.
I don't know.
That sounds good.
Open to suggestions. So
Okay. All right. I think that covers it.
I hope so. Hope that helps people understand a little bit more about what we're trying to do here. And, it's real, but we're not taking ourselves too seriously. We want to have fun with it, because that's
Also
the
fun.
idea, right?
Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, John.
You just listened to 15 Minutes With, brought to you by Cubewise, managing complexity in the business world.